Hi and welcome to EV Performance Magazine. Today we're going to look at flashing an LED with Arduino UNO. So let's start off with putting out a 330 ohm resistor. This ensures that the LED doesn't burn out or too high current is going through it. And typically, I don't know exactly off the top of my head how much current the red LED wants, but since the Arduino UNO is going to output 5 volts, divide that by 330, and that'll give us around 15 milliamps. And then we just make sure to complete the circuit, so we follow the leads, and it looks good. So let's start writing the code. So the Arduino UNO has two sections, the void setup section and the void loop section. Whatever you put in the setup section is what the Arduino UNO is going to run once at startup. And this is where we declare what the pin does. So I arbitrarily chose pin 2. You can choose any pin you want as long as it's a part of the GPIO, general purpose input-output pins. The syntax for this is pin mode, parentheses, and then you declare which pin you want and whether you want it to be an input or an output. So now what we're going to start to do is actually toggle pin 2 to set pin 2 to 5 volts and 0 volts. And this is done with the syntax line digital write, arguments or parameters being the pin and whether you want to set it high or low. Next we add a delay function to make sure that the LED actually toggles, and I'll even show you an example where if you delete the last delay, what'll happen. Because the microcontroller is so fast, it'll just run through each line pretty quickly. So unless you add the delay, you're not going to be able to see the toggle of the LED. Now we set pin 2 to low, which will set the voltage on pin 2 to 0, effectively shutting off the LED. And then finish that off with another delay. And now if we run this code, it should work. So let's see. Alright, it's as we wanted it to be. 1 second on, 1 second off. And here's an example where I delete the last delay. And you'll see the LED is just on because it's so fast it'll just jump up to the top of the code. So once it finishes the last digital write low, it'll immediately jump to high. So the time it is low is basically just a couple of microseconds. So there's no way your eye can catch that little off period where the LED is off.